How do you consume information? Like clearly you have an ability to resist messaging or to at least be critical of messaging and not just drink it up. And I guess before you answer, I'm definitely guilty of having drank the Kool-Aid earlier this year and not thinking super critically about Black Lives Matter or what was going on in the wake of the George Floyd killing. Like here in San Diego, me and my girlfriend went to several protests with the Black Lives Matter organization, and there was, and I don't regret it. It's not like I regret going out and protesting what I believe to be abuse of power by the police, but there was an instance that I'll never forget. At the last day of protesting that we went to, we were walking down the street, and this white girl, she must have been like 19 or 20 years old, was walking in front of us, and there was a police officer standing in the street blocking traffic so that we could walk without any cars coming through. And she's like yelling at the police officer, like, "Fuck you, you fucking cop. Like, you should be so ashamed. Get a new job. Your children are going to hate you." And I was like, whoa, I didn't sign up for this. I was here to protest what I believe to be the abuse of power. I'm not here to protest this, Johnny Blue over here who's just doing his job and standing there peacefully.
Dude.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So how do you consume information and get yourself to a place where you can think critically about these things before, jumping in with both feet?
So the easiest way to say it is distrust. It's unfortunate, but I don't really trust much that goes out. I like to verify things. If I can't claim to have seen it myself, there's no way that I could be like, that's what happened. So that's kind of what drives my thought process. It's like, okay, I'm interested in the situation. I want to know as much as I can about the situation. And then also I have a fairly good long-term memory. So when things happen, I don't generally forget about them. So I consume information. It goes into the memory bank. And once it's in the memory bank, then I'm able to kind of go through the Rolodex of information that I have. Whenever I encounter a new situation, I kind of replay as much as the information that I have already that I can within as much time as I have to do it. And then I make a decision. If I have more time to kind of sit on something, I may kind of go back and forth before I make a decision. But that's why I tell people, like, if more information is presented to me, my position may change. It may even be something that I knew that may have slipped my mind that may completely shift my stance on something. Mm-hmm. So,
are there names? Go ahead.
So just to briefly just say, like, I'm an INTJ. So my personality is like, I think all of the time. So coupling that with like a fairly good long-term memory and an interest for information is how I think, the way I think.
And just for context, that's the Myers-Briggs personality test, right? Yeah, the INTJ. Are there any people that you trust in the media, or is it pretty much just blanket distrust?
There's people that I like, I suppose. I don't know any of these people, right? So I can't say I trust any of them because I don't know these people. And I'm sure they would probably turn on me the moment they could. Maybe if the opportunity was something valuable to them. So no, I can't say that I trust the media. I take information at face value. If someone presents me information and they don't show me anything, like say it's just like a pop-up, they read it off the teleprompter, I'll be like, okay, that's interesting. They're saying something like that happened. Say I talk to someone about it, I'll bring up like, hey, yeah, I heard something's going on with this situation, but I don't know exactly what the details are, Mm-hmm. But then I'll go into further detail, get on Google's or whatever it can be, try to find any kind of video evidence if it's something that would require that, and then if it's something like, say, scientific studies, I just say, hey, all right, well, I mean, if all of the scientists are saying this is what it is, then
accept it.
It might be something different, but maybe we should trust them. But I don't know. there's been a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, my experiences as a black man. So like I haven't forgotten that slavery is something that happened, and Tuskegee is something that happened.
Hmm.
Reconstruction is something that happened. Like all of this stuff like that involves the government directly has happened. So when it comes to trusting them, and then the media, which is in a way just an arm of the government or tries to control the government, and it's like I can't, I'm always apprehensive in a way because it's just like, well, you said this, and then all of this wild stuff happened. So